climate change concerns are mounting over Russia ahead of the United Nations Climate Change Conference, which will be held in Paris later this month. Russia's emissions fell for most of the 1990s and the early 2000s as the country's economy declined following the breakup of the Soviet Union. However, over recent years, emissions have been on the rise. Now, environmental experts are voicing concern as Russian authorities show continued scepticism on climate change issues. Vladimir Burdin, Russia's deputy director of the International Sustainable Energy Development Center, who will attend the Paris Climate Conference, said Russia has already made sustainable contribution to the reduction of greenhouse gas emission, suggesting an increase from 2012 emissions levels.
Since 1990, let us not talk about the reasons. They are well known to everyone. But Russia has always had lower emissions levels than it had in 1990. So, Russia made a real contribution to reduction of the emission, which can be measured and can be counted.
So, Russia's position on global warming issues appears to have not changed much since 2003, when Russian President Vladimir Putin told an international climate conference that warmer temperatures would mean Russians would spend less money on fur coats. Between November 30th and December 11th, some 200 nations are set to agree on a plan to limit climate change beyond 2030. Russia has outlined plans to cut emissions by 25 to 30% by 2030 from their 1990 level, which in practice equates to them keeping them at around the same level as they are now, provoking criticism from greenhouse groups.
The temperature on the planet is rising. It will damage the infrastructure. Ice will melt in the northern areas. And that is where we have the main oil and gas pipelines. And then in the south of the country, where we have agriculture, droughts will happen more frequently, which will influence agriculture. We have also carried out an analysis of a forest sector and found that southern forests will burn more frequently.
Russia is currently the world's fifth largest greenhouse gas emitter, following China, the United States, the European Union and India. Legislation supporting the development of renewables and energy efficiency has been adopted in Russia, but economic woes have put many such initiatives on hold, with public and private investment drying up as the country becomes increasingly isolated following military interventions in Ukraine and Syria.